I found the very first short story I've ever read, and I have not read it yet or reread it yet. I wanted to wait to share it with everybody at the same time. Um, I used to write a lot when I was a kid. I always loved to write, and that's why getting a book published was such a big deal. But so let's read Magic Touch. One day I woke up and I had a weird feeling in my right index finger. I touched it so I could rub it. Then all of a sudden, my other hand had a weird feeling in it too. I got out of bed to open my door and it turned into silver. Then I touched it with my other hand and it turned back into the regular old door. I was amazed at that because everything I touched with my right index finger, it would turn into silver, and anything I touched with my left hand, it would go back to the same old thing. So it's a good thing I can write with both of my hands because I would keep on having to touch the pen with both of my hands if I couldn't. All one sentence. One day, when my brother was bothering me, I told him to stop, but he wouldn't stop, so I went over to him and turned him into silver. But then my mom came in and screamed, "Ah!" She asked me what happened to my brother, so I told her about my magic touch. Then she told me to turn him back to his original self. What was great, though, he didn't bother me anymore. He just walked away. The next day, I still had the magic touch, but I was very uncomfortable because when I slept, I had to wear gloves in bed, so I wouldn't turn anything on my bed into silver. I actually wanted this magic touch to go away. It was kind of annoying because anything I touched would turn into silver, so I keep on having to touch everything with both of my hands. My friends thought it was cool. They said if they had my magic touch, they would turn their parents into silver. I was telling them, no, you don't. I also told them all the bad things they have to do and the bad things that happens. So, my friend Jenny said, I for one thought she was crazy, but she just said, no, I'm not. When I had to come inside, it was time to eat. I had to put the rubber gloves on again. Surprisingly, the gloves don't turn into silver. My mom is still wondering how exactly I got this magic touch, and so am I. I hope it goes away by tomorrow. Most kids think this magic touch is cool, but I bet if they had it, they wouldn't like it much either. When it was time for bed, I had to put on the gloves that I had on last night again. I was hoping it would go away, but you know what? It didn't. and At the breakfast table, my brother was making fun of me because I still had the magic touch, so I went over to him and touched him, but then my mom yelled at me and told me to turn him back into his original self again. The day was really long. I went outside, put my gloves on, and rode my bike with my friends. All I wanted to talk about was my magic touch. When it was time to come in, I went to my room and watched TV. Hey Arnold was on. When the show was over, I went to see if dinner was done, and it was. After I was done eating, I was thinking, will this magic touch ever go away? I was kind of getting worried. It probably takes at least a week or so. I tried to stop thinking about it and go to sleep. When I woke up, my right index finger felt weird again. I thought my magic touch was going away, but it wasn't completely gone. I went into the kitchen to tell my mom. She was really happy. But when I told my friends, they weren't really happy. They weren't happy because when someone comes and picks on us, I would turn them into silver and then turn them back, and they would run away. When I had to go in, all my mom talked about was this magic touch going away. Oh no, I don't have the rest of the story. Don't worry, I also had the rough draft, so I have the ending. So, okay. When I had to go in, all my mom talked about was this magic touch going away. So I went over and touched her, but once I did, my dad yelled at me and told me to turn my mom back to her original self. I did, but at first she forgot what she was talking about. Then she remembered and started talking about my magic touch going away again. When we ate, I had to put the gloves on again. After I was done eating, I went to bed, I put my gloves on, and went to sleep. In the morning, my hands didn't feel funny at all. I jumped out of my bed and took my gloves off and touched my door with my right index finger, and my door didn't turn into silver. I was so happy, and so was my mom. I told my friends, but they weren't happy because they thought my magic touch was cool. I went inside and watched TV for the rest of the day. I went to bed after I ate, and everything was back to normal. The end. I think and I hope I became a better writer after writing this story. I was really proud of this when I was little. Oof.